Today we're going to be looking at the distributive property. Now it's easier to think of this in terms of positive numbers, but we will also be dealing with some negative numbers later. This says 2 times the quantity 3y plus 8. If we think of what that really means, it means I have one 3y plus 8, and then I have a second 3y plus 8. So if I just combine my like terms like we did in the last section, 3y and another 3y is 6y, and a positive 8 and another positive 8 is going to give me a plus 16. Now, I don't want to have to write this out this way every time, and it gets a little bit strange to look at if you're thinking of negative 2 out here in the front. So all we're going to do to show the work is to show that we understand that this is the same thing as 2 times the 3y, that would give me the 6y, and 2 times a positive 8 would give me the positive 16. So negative 5 times 2m is a negative 10m. Negative 5 times negative, because of the minus in front of it, 8, is a positive 40, so plus 40. The reason we are allowed to treat this as a negative 8, this is the same thing as negative 5 times 2m plus a negative 8. So negative 5 times the negative 8 is our positive 40. It says write your answer in standard form. Well, this is in standard form. My like terms have been combined because there weren't any. The variable term is written before the constant, so I'm done. I do want you to show me this work above your distributive property step. It's a reminder that you're taking the negative 5 times both things inside the parentheses. Now this has two different things in parentheses. It has this 3y minus 4 that's being multiplied by the 2 out in front, and it has this 4y plus 11 that's being multiplied by what we'll treat as a negative 6. So 2 times 3y and 2 times negative 4 is going to give me a 6y minus 8. And again, treating this as a negative 6 times 4y and negative 6 times a positive 11 is going to become minus 24y minus 66. At this point, I have some like terms to combine. I have a 6y and a minus 24y, and then I have a negative 8 minus 66. So when I punch those in my calculator, the y term should go first. The coefficients, positive 6 minus 24 is a negative 18, so I have negative 18y, and my constant, what I would punch in my calculator, is negative 8 minus 66, which is negative 74, so I write it as minus 74. Again, I should never write a final answer with plus a negative or minus a negative in it. I need to simplify that down. Now the temptation for some students at this point on this problem is to do 3.4 minus 2.5 because they're like terms and you want to subtract those. However, there's multiplication between this 2.5 and the parentheses, and the order of operations would say you need to multiply before you add or subtract. So all I'm going to do in this first step is this distributive property part, which is negative 2.5 times 5m and negative 2.5 times a negative 9.4. Everything else here is outside of a distributive property sort of parentheses. Yes, there's parentheses here, but if I read this part out loud, it says plus 6.3 minus a negative 2.1m. This is not the same as having two terms inside the parentheses with a number out front that I need to distribute. So the 3.4 is going to get just copied down. This plus 6.3 minus negative 2.1m is going to be copied down. Notice I had a capital M to begin with, so it stays a capital M as I rewrite it. Negative 2.5 times a 5m is a negative 10.4, so is a negative 12.5, so minus 12.5m. Negative 2.5 times negative 9.4 is a positive 23.5. At this point, I combine my like terms. I have a constant, a second constant, and a third constant, and I have two m terms. M should go first in my final answer, so negative 12.5 minus a negative 2.1 on the coefficients of my M is a negative 10.4 M. My constants, 3.4 plus 23.5 plus 6.3 is going to give me a positive, so plus 33.2. So first, do the distributive property to get rid of your terms inside parentheses, and then combine your like terms, making sure that you write them in the correct order, variable terms before constant terms. Thank you.